Okay, so this is the first topic for corporations, the general provisions. Under the law, a corporation is defined as an artificial being created by operation of law, having the right of succession and the powers, attributes, and properties expressly authorized by law or incidental to its existence. So, ang sa characteristics of a corporation, the first characteristic is that the corporation is an artificial being. Okay, so same as the partnership, a corporation is also considered a person, pero artificial person. Ha? Then, it is created by law. Ang partnership is created by contract, ang corporation is created by law. Okay, you have to file it before the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, ang inyong application to create a corporation. And then, if you have complied with all the requirements, it will be approved. Meaning, hindi basta mag-create ng corporation through contract lang. You need the approval of the SEC because the SEC will be the one who will represent the government na i-approve ang corporation because the corporation is created by law and not by contract. The corporation has the right of succession. Okay, ibig sabihin, yung mga stockholders, the stockholders can transfer their shares of stocks and it will not dissolve the corporation. Unlike in partnership, when a partner leaves the partnership will be dissolved. Hindi ganun ang corporation. The corporation, okay, remains even if the stockholders left or sold out their uh, shares of stocks. That is why it's called the right of succession because the living a stockholder who leaves can be succeeded by another one. Pwede ipasa sa iba ang stocks without the consent of the other stockholders. So corporation has powers, attributes, and properties expressly authorized by law or incidental to its existence. Okay. Based on this class, the powers of the corporation are those expressly authorized by law. Number one, that is called express power. Number two is the incidental powers. Kaya sabi dito, incidental to its existence. And the third one is yung implied powers. Implied powers meaning ito yung powers that came from the express powers and the incidental powers. Okay? Succession of corporations, ito yung right of succession. The succession refers to the continuation of a corporation's legal status despite changes in ownership or management. So, the corporation remains even if nag-change ang owners, even if nag-change ang management. Okay. So, what are the powers of the corporation? As discussed, number one are those expressly conferred on it by law or what we call the express powers. Ano yung binigay na powers ng batas na nakasulat sa Revised Corporation Code? Yun yung unang kind of power, the express power. Number two, those that are implied therefrom. Implied meaning, ano yung consequence ng express powers. Yung express powers, okay, may mga powers din na nanggaling sa express and these are called implied powers. In simple terms, ito yung mga implied or understood from as given in the express power. Number three, those which are incidental to its existence or incidental powers. Okay. So, a corporation has the right to own properties kasi the corporation is also a person. So, that is why it can also acquire its own properties. And property acquired by a corporation is the property of the corporation and not the property of stockholders or members. Okay, so nasa pangalan niya ng corporation, and it is owned by the corporation and not by the stockholders or its officers. On a class, these are the different classes of corporation. There are two main uh, classes, the stock corporation and the non-stock corporation. Ito yung pinaka main classes of corporation. Ang stock corporation class, okay, are divided in ang capital niya are divided into shares and distributed to the holders. And dividends or share in the profits uh, are distributed to the stockholders on the basis of the shares they held. For example, if you are a stockholder and you have uh, shares of stocks, and I also have my own shares of stocks of the same corporation, but I have more stocks than you have, then meaning ang share ko sa profits is based on the number of stocks that I have. Ang sa iyo, mas maliit because you are holding only a few stocks. Okay? An example class is when a corporation declares a dividend, maybe siguro piso per share. Okay. So if you have 100 shares of stocks, the 100 pesos ang dividend mo or share in the profits. For example, ako, I have 1,000 shares of stocks of the same corporation. Tapos piso per share ang dividends. Then 1,000 pesos ang aking dividend. So it depends on how many shares of stocks are you holding. So the more shares of stocks you are holding, the more share in the dividends you will receive. In a non-stock corporation class, from this name, non-stock, okay, wala siyang shares of stocks na distribute because a non-stock corporation is prohibited from distributing its income as dividends because the purpose of a non-stock corporation is not for profit, it is for some other purpose. Most non-stock corporations are for charitable, educational, and other and religious purposes. I mean, so a stock corporation class is created for profit, for business, while a non-stock corporation is created for purposes other than business. So sometimes they are charitable, religious, or educational. And there are other classes of corporation as the purpose. A corporation may be a public corporation. Okay, a public corporation, ito yung mga local government unit, yung mga city, province, municipality, local government unit, ang tawag sa kanila, corporations din sila class, ang tawag sa kanila public corporation. Because they are organized for the government of a portion of the Philippines for the good of the general welfare. A private corporation class is formed for some private purposes or for negosyo, benefit, or end. Okay? So a private corporation is created by private individuals for private purposes. Another one is what we call the GOCC, a government-owned and controlled corporation. These are private corporation, but they are owned by the government. Kaya it's a government-owned and controlled corporation. And the fourth one class is the quasi-public corporation. It is a private corporation na given authority by the Philippine government for certain purposes na for the performance of public duties but which is organized for profit. Example of a quasi-public corporation, yung mga Boy Scout of the Philippines, mga ganun. Okay? Yung sa GOCC naman, mga SSS, GSIS, ganun yun. Pero class, ang what we are discussing for purposes of your subject is the private corporation. Okay? Ang coverage, ang topic ng subject nito covers only the private corporation. We will not discuss public corporation, GOCC, and quasi-public corporation. Okay? Pinakita lang dito for the purpose na you will see that there are other corporations aside from private corporation. Okay? But ang pinaka-topic natin is private corporation. Other classes of corporations as to their legal right to exist. Number one is a de jure corporation. A de jure corporation is a corporation created na nag-follow sa lahat ng requirements ng batas for it to be incorporated. So a de jure corporation is a legitimate corporation that has went through the process of registration and was granted a registration certificate by the Securities and Exchange Commission. A de facto corporation class is one that operates like a corporation in good faith. Take note of in good faith. Pero hindi nila na-comply fully ang legal requirements for its formation. Okay? So, ang difference ng de jure at saka de facto, ang de jure legit na legit, there is no question. But a de facto corporation, the people running the corporation has not fully complied with the requirements for its formation, but they are in good faith. Okay? And these classes of corporation class cannot be questioned except by the Solicitor General by filing a case for quo warranto. Okay? So, isa lang ang pwede mag-question sa existence ng de facto corporation. Corporation by estoppel class. Ito naman, all persons, okay, marami siguro yung isang grupo siguro ng maraming tao who acts like a corporation knowing it without authority to do so. So, in this case class, ang corporation by estoppel is in bad faith. Okay? These are the persons who make it appear na sila ay corporation but in fact they are not and they are in bad faith. Okay? In this case class, the persons constituting the corporation by estoppel will be considered as general partners for all the debts and liabilities and damages as a result thereof, meaning they are liable even beyond their contribution to the corporation by estoppel. Therefore, class, the difference between a de facto corporation and a corporation by estoppel, ang de facto, good faith yung mga nag-organized. While in corporation by estoppel, they are in bad faith because they know they have no authority. And a corporation by prescription is one which has exercised powers of a corporation for a very long period of time na so that the government has already recognized it as a corporation. The best example of this class is the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church is considered a corporation because it has existed for a long period of time. Other classes of corporation, okay, as to the laws of their incorporation. Number one is a domestic corporation. Ito yung corporation that was organized, incorporated, and registered under the laws of the Philippines. So, sa Pilipinas naka-register. Another one is a foreign corporation. Of course, a foreign corporation is formed and organized in any other laws other than the Philippines. Meaning sa labas ito na-organize or na-registered. And take note class, kailangan in that foreign country, para ma-recognize yung corporation nila sa Pilipinas, kailangan yung foreign country kung saan sila galing, yung naka-register, must also recognize Filipino corporations. Okay? So, foreign corporations are only recognized by law as a foreign corporation if they allow Filipino corporations to also exist in their country. So those countries which do not allow Filipino corporations to operate in their own country will not also be recognized in the Philippines. Okay, there are other corporations as to whether they are open to the public or not. They may be open or closed. Okay? An open corporation class is open to any person, to the public. Okay? Anyone who wishes to become a stockholder or member can become one, while a closed corporation, okay, is held the is held only by not more than 20 persons. Sometimes they are family members. So their shares of stocks are not available to the public, and they are restricted and not listed in the stock exchange. So yung open corporation class is open sa public kung sinong gusto maging stockholders. And some of them is in the stock exchange. While a closed corporation is very limited only to a few handful people who can own these shares of stocks. And a closed corporation does not offer its shares of stocks in the stock exchange. As to the relationship of management and control, a corporation may be a parent or a holding corporation or a subsidiary corporation. So a parent corporation class is a corporation that controls another corporation. Okay, yung nagko-control na corporation is called a parent corporation or a holding corporation. Yung kinokontrol niya is called a subsidiary corporation. Ang requirement is that more than 50% of the voting stocks of that corporation is held by another corporation. Okay, so subsidiary corporation is being controlled or managed by a parent corporation. As to the number of persons who compose them, a corporation may be aggregate or a corporation sole. Okay, a corporation aggregate consists of more than one corporator or member or stockholder, while a corporation sole class consists only of one member. Pero the purpose of a corporation sole is for the administering, managing the affairs, properties, and temporalities of any religious denomination, sect, or church. So a corporation sole class is usually it is for religious purposes, and it is the only one person lang ang registered. Sometimes it's the head bishop, the head priest, or the organizer. Okay? So siya lang mag-isa ang corporation sole. There are other corporations as to whether they are for religious purposes or not. A corporation that is organized for religious purpose is also called an ecclesiastical corporation. For other purpose na hindi naman religious, ang tawag is lay corporation. O as to whether the corporation is for charitable purposes or not, there are two. Eleemosynary corporation is organized for charitable purposes para sa kawanggawa, while a civil corporation is organized for business or profit. This is the most important doctrine in corporation law class, the doctrine of separate juridical personality. A corporation is an artificial being. It is a tao, an artificial tao, an imaginary person. So, it has a legal personality, and this corporation na artificial person is separate from its stockholder. So, because a corporation is an artificial person, liable ba siya for torts and crimes? A corporation class is civilly liable as natural person for torts. Torts, di ba, yung quasi-delict. So, kung may pagkakamali yung corporation, pwede siya maging liable for quasi-delict. But a corporation cannot be imprisoned for a crime. Okay? Because hindi naman pwede i-preso yung corporation kasi artificial being siya. Sometimes, class, there are laws saying na pag may crime na nakomit, yung person na liable ang magiging liable for the crime. And there are laws stating that sometimes violations uh, will be will be imposed on that no penalties for violations may be imposed on its officers. Pwede ba mag-recover ng damages sa corporation? A corporation, being an artificial person, has no feelings. It has no emotion kasi artificial siya eh. Therefore, it cannot experience physical suffering. So, if you look at it, the corporation cannot uh, claim moral damages kasi a person cannot physically suffer. However, a corporation have a good reputation or a good name, which if siniraan or besmirched, okay, siniraan ang reputation ng corporation, the corporation may also file a case for moral damages based on the good reputation niya na violate. Ito ang kakambal ng doctrine of separate juridical personality. Sometimes, class, if the corporation is used for purposes na defeating public convenience, or when the corporation is used as a vehicle for the evasion of existing obligation para makatakas sa obligasyon, ginagamit ang corporation to justify a wrong, protect fraud, or perpetuate a fraud or deception, or if the corporation is just an alter ego of another, nagtatago lang sa likod ng corporation, yung pagiging separate juridical person ng corporation o yung pagiging artificial being niya is dinidisregard, kaya piercing the veil. Kasi dinidisregard dahil dito sa mga reasons na ito, when the corporation is being used only to defeat public convenience as a vehicle for evading takasan ang existing obligation, or when the corporation is being used to justify a wrong, protect fraud, perpetuate a deception, or just an alter ego, yung pagiging artificial person niya is dinidisregard, and it is the people behind the corporation who will be made liable for the acts committed. Okay? So I hope that is clear, class. So, yung corporation is a separate being, but yung pagka-artificial person niya, inaalis para maging liable yung mga tao behind the corporation if it is if the corporation is used for these purposes. Kaya piercing the veil of corporate fiction. Nationality of corporations. Ang mga corporations class may nationality din. Okay? Para sa katulad nyo, Filipino nationality. Merong iba na for American ang nationality. Ganon din ang corporation. So there are tests to determine the nationality of a corporation. Number 1 is the incorporation test. Okay? Ang nationality ng corporation under the incorporation test is determined by looking at the state of incorporation regardless of the stockholder's nationality. So kung saan siya naka-register, saan siya na-incorporate, yun ang nationality niya. Example, if a corporation is registered, organized, and incorporated in Japan, then under the incorporation test, the corporation is a Japanese corporation, even if the owners are Filipinos. Yun yung incorporation test. Another test is the domicile test. Kung nasaan located yung principal office ng corporation. Or let us say, for example, yung Japanese corporation na registered in Japan. Pero ang main office niya, ang main operation niya is nasa Singapore. So under the domicile test, it is considered a Singaporean corporation. And the third test class is the control test. The nationality of the corporation is determined according to the nationality of the controlling stockholders or members. Okay? Sa control test class, hindi tinitingnan kung saan naka-register, saan naka-incorporate, hindi tinitingnan kung saan yung head office, at tinitingnan ko yung mga taong nagmamay-ari ng corporation. Tinitingnan kung ano mga nationality ng mga tao, kung ano yung majority, yun yung nationality ng corporation. For example, if a corporation is registered, organized in Japan, and has its main office and operation in Singapore, pero ang nagmamayari mga Pilipino, majority mga Pilipino, then under the control test, that corporation is considered a Filipino corporation. Okay? So in the Philippines class, ang sinusunod natin is the control test. Hindi natin sinusunod yung incorporation test at saka domicile test. So in the Philippines, okay, the nationality of a corporation is determined according to the nationality of the stockholders who controls the corporation. Okay, sa control test. So under the nationality of corporation class, meron tinatawag na grandfather rule. Minsan kasi class, yung corporation is also owned by another corporation or several corporation. So nagkakaroon ng grandfather rule kasi yung corporation, natitingnan natin kung anong nationality niya, pero through control test, tapos yung may-ari ng corporation na ito is are corporations also. Maraming corporations ang nagmamayari sa isang corporation. So grandfather tayo. Grandfather meaning akyat ulit. From yung galing sa baba, yung corporation na tinitingnan natin kung anong nationality niya. Akyat tayo sa tatay niya. Ang tatay niya is yung mga corporation na nagmamayari sa kanya. Hindi din yung mga tao. So, akyat tayo ulit sa mga lolo. Ibig sabihin yung mga may-ari ng mga corporation na nagmamay-ari doon sa unang corporation. Kaya grandfather rule ang tawag. It traces the nationality of the stockholders of investor corporation to ascertain the nationality of the corporation where the investment is made. Take note class, it is applied only when there is a problem on the nationality of the investor corporation itself. Ibig sabihin, itong corporation sa baba na pagmamayari ng mga corporation sa taas, yung nasa taas ng mga corporation, hindi mo alam ang kanilang nationality, then umakyat ka pa ng isa pa sa mga tao, stockholders, who own the corporation, you look at their nationality, kung sino yung majority, yun yung nationality nung corporation na sa pinakaunang level. Okay? That is the end of the lecture for tonight.